welcome to the B Team Podcast. I am your host, Josh Safran, with my co-host,
Matt Mars,
and our permanent guest,
Rob Nelson.
We're here every week to talk to you about all things Bentonville, bourbon, and business. The B Team Podcast. Be here. So welcome back to the B Team Podcast, where we're focused on Bentonville, business, and bourbon, which is why you are here. We've had rave reviews for Mr. Russ Kempton, much better than us the first couple of episodes without him. So Russ, you may be our permanent guest, which would actually maybe move
Kind of one-upped Rob
out a little bit.
I hate to say that out loud. That's because he read all the bourbon.
He's adding a lot of value. We're not sure where Rob's status is.
Rob, we don't know where the value is yet. I mean, I came up with the whole...
Yes.
Yeah, you did do that.
You're a hidden gem.
I'm a hidden gem. Yeah.
He's never been
out
called
every now and then. Yeah. Yeah, it's like when you go into a liquor store and you find that little dusty old bottle on the bottom for clearance. You dust it off, bring it home, and it drinks amazing.
So I just heard him say he's the dusty old bottom that you leave on the bottom of the shelf.
He's bottom shelf.
Bottom shelf.
Bottom shelf.
Hey, you got to start somewhere. Yeah. The good thing is you can't go down anymore.
Nowhere to go but up.
That's right. I'm just happy the fastest. Can't be the slowest. That's right.
I'm just happy he made it back after the chocolate brownie episode, because I wasn't sure he was going to make it through that.
Solid. Ooh, yeah.
Solid.
It was solid.
It was solid. Well, Russ, no more talk about brownies. We're here to talk about, speaking of grapes and grains, and Mr. Russ Kempton. What are we drinking today?
Thanks, Josh. Thanks, Rob. And thanks, Matt, for having me again this afternoon. We are drinking Four Roses. And this is 11 years, 6 months, single barrel, so very unusual. You know, the sweet spot for bourbon on an age statement is between 10 and 15 years in the United States. You know, that when you see that 11-year-old, that's the equivalent to a 33-year-old Scotch. So just because it takes longer in a cooler climate and by nature for the spirit to mature. So this is a 107.8 proof, single barrel, barrel strength, cast strength, and when you see cast strength, barrel strength, you know with confidence that no water's been added to bring it down to another desired proof point. So this is 11 years, and because of the 11 years, 6 months, wow, you're getting a lot of oak. You get a lot of that spice. Every time you try a spirit that's been housed in oak, 60% of the flavor of what you're trying comes from the oak barrel influence. So this is very spicy.
Oh my gosh.
Very earthy.
I love this.
So good.
Oh, what? Okay, this is where you got to think I'm strange, and I am in a lot of regards when it describes spirits, is I get a lot, just on the nose, I get a lot of stone fruit. So stone fruit's going to be...
He just made that up.
Nice. If I'm lying, I'm dying. The stone fruit would be, say, cling peaches. Okay. I get a lot of citrus here. I get a lot of peach here. I get a lot of citrus. I get a lot of stewed banana on the nose.
I won't need nose wax after this.
Yeah.
So what proof is this again?
This is 107.8 proof.
So I don't even feel like this. To me, I wouldn't even put a drop of water in this.
And
this is perfect to me. I wouldn't mess with it.
And so this has that great proof to age, you know, to the oak influence here, because that 11 years, I mean, this is solid.
Yeah.
For $75 a bottle, if you could find this today. But I'm a big proponent of Four Roses. And, you know, with my lineups, what I do over 100 events a year around the country for corporations and private home events. And I teach whiskey at 2 universities, one in Delaware and one in Texas, on whiskey for students getting a hotel restaurant management degree. On this one here, this is my sweet spot as a consumer of beverage alcohol, because of the age and the proof and just the viscosity and the structure of what this brings me. What do you guys think of this?
Water in it. You'll take. I mean, it's fantastic. It doesn't need it.
Like maybe one drop.
But again, it just because I want you guys to go through this exercise on every time you try it, just to show you what water does with or water does without the neat and then that water. Because again, as I stated earlier, when you add water in Scotland, it's called releasing the serpent. When you add water in the United States, it's called releasing the beast. So we got this big beast that's being released right now in front of everybody.
My wife says I'm releasing the demons. But.
Okay.
I mean, are we talking about bourbon when we're talking about that? So,
And again, once the spirit leaves the barrel, the aging stops instantly. So you can keep this indefinite. It's your bar, it's your house, wherever you might keep your spirits, as long as it's not next to the heat of the day in an oven, a stove. You can keep this indefinitely as long as you store it properly.
Of all the ones that you brought in over our last 3 episodes, this one is hands down my favorite.
see, I'm not seeing it.
No?
No.
That's why you're bottom shelf and dusty.
I must be. Like I think the one from the episode before, even though it was a stronger proof, was more complex for me. And again, not that it's bad.
But everyone has it's like, that's why there's 1,000 different colors of cars or whatever.
To me, this is a little bit more bitter. Am I picking up?
Well, the bitter would be the oak.
Okay. There you go. I'm picking up a lot of oak on this.
You didn't pick up the stone fruit?
So the bitter then, Rob, the bitterness would be the astringency from the oak.
Okay.
And that's that bitter influence that you're getting.
Yeah.
Probably, are you getting the bitterness in the back of your palate or up front?
Towards the middle.
So you're getting the, okay.
Or it wasn't an option.
What that was is not answering the question. Did you see that? Yeah.
He's very neutral.
He maybe was going to be an attorney before he decided to start building houses.
Yeah.
No, he's in that.
He only gave me the front or the back as an option. He didn't give me the middle.
It's that dustiness that was right in the middle there.
The dusty old bottle.
So you don't feel it, huh?
I mean, I don't hate it by any means.
But it's not one of you.
But I feel like a few that Russ has brought prior to have been a little bit more in my wheelhouse.
And
and
that's
maybe
fantastic, though, because of the four of us
I'm
here.
going to put another drop of water in there.
And the consumers, that are on the call that might have a Four Roses or an Old Forester or an Knob Creek, the last several that we've done, everyone is called the triple P. You have your own personal palate preference.
Right.
And so what I like, the four of us in the room, we're all not going to like everything together. And that's fine. You're going to be doing
it's actually better.
some blind tasting.
And just to be clear, I mean, it's not a drainer by any means. And I wouldn't go pour.
It's not like your infinity bottle you brought.
Still too soon.
Josh.
Still too soon.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong by any means. Like this, it's a great bourbon, but I would probably reach for something else.
And that's fair. I mean, we all have.
But that's why liquor stores have 30 feet of bourbon.
A whole wall.
But it makes sense with the oak that you're.
But I thought what was interesting when you said, Scotch is these mature just faster because of the heat here versus over there where they do Scotch.
So you look at the whiskey culture. Whiskey around the world must be distilled from cereal grains only, and so when we look at our whiskey culture globally, the environment of a cooler climate such as Ireland, Scotland, Japan, Canada, it takes longer for the spirit to mature in a cooler, damp climate as opposed to the environment that we have in Kentucky, Tennessee, Indiana, or in Texas or here in Arkansas in the summertime, where the spirit matures at a quicker, greater rate in the maturation warehouse, just by chemical reaction and just by what's going on in the barrel during that time frame. I mean, right now we're in February, right? So we're in the big sleep. Yeah. So the whiskey is inside the barrel right now, resting and sleeping during the wintertime. It starts to go and force its way back into the barrel, back into the staves during the heat of the summer. That's where the color comes from. That's where the age comes from. And that's when the identity of the spirit starts to bring out their own signature style when it goes inside that barrel during the maturation cycle.
I didn't know any of this.
I thought they just couldn't leave it here more than it's rare to see. Like I have a couple bourbons that are 25 year, like Michner's that's 25.
I've never been offered a sample.
But they say when they get to there, you might only have 40 bottles.
That's it.
That's left. So when they in Ireland or Scotland, when they do it, they don't have the loss because they don't have the heat. Is that
we lose in that cooler climate of the world? Canada, Japan, Scotland, Ireland. You lose about 1 to 3% to the angels a year. Yeah. So that's very, very small testimony as far as the evaporation. Kentucky, Tennessee, Indiana, 3 to 5%. Texas, you lose about 8 to 12%. Mexico for tequila,
20.
Reposado, Añejo, Extra Añejo is 10%. Mm-hmm. But now let's talk Australia. Let's talk about Taiwan. Let's talk about India, the tropics and a lot of climates. You lose 12 to 15% a year.
So that's why they can't age it very well.
And so when you get a 4-year-old Australian whiskey and you go, oh my God, it tastes like a 30-year-old Scotch or a 15, 20-year-old bourbon, it's just because the environment plays such a vital role of what we're talking about during the maturation cycle. It's such an important part of the equation. Again, once that spirit leaves the barrel, the aging stops instantly. Like wine, if we're doing wine tonight, the wine that we were trying is still a living agricultural product when you consume it. So a spirit cannot get better or forced to be better inside that bottle after maturation.
So it's going to be the best it ever is once it's in there. Whereas wine has it has a sweet spot, and then
it's still a living agricultural product when you consume it.
So basically, what you're saying is, if it's a 10-year-old and you open it 10 years later, it's not a 20.
Correct.
And then one other question I have.
It is simply good. Yeah.
But one other question for the viewers and mostly me. What is once you open a bottle, what's the normal shelf life? Because you hear everyone from saying it's only a few, it'll last this. Is it all dependent on sun and temperature
and storage? How you store it? Because we all know when you open up a bottle of wine, doesn't matter if it's red, rosé, or white, macro oxidation starts to take place instantly, just like on beer too. Mm-hmm. You got that macro oxidation. Well, on distilled spirits, I had a 30-year study on one bottle of Scotch from Scotland called Edward from Pitlochry up north of Edinburgh. I had a 30-year study on one bottle, and I have notes on it and everything. Mm-hmm. And it did not change from the day I opened it to the day I finished it.
Wow.
30 years. I had a 30-year experiment.
Wow. That's also stored in perfect condition.
It was perfect condition, Rob.
Because you've seen it the other way, but it's been in the Bahamas where it's 110 degrees sitting on the shelf.
It's going to cook it.
Well, it was cloudy.
So because the chemical,
it was cloudy. I was like, actually, I think
the molecular structure of the spirit started breaking down because of how they stored it in the Bahamas. When I see a cloudy bottle, I run from it. I'd say I'm not going to say anything.
Shout out to the Bahamas. I will say they did the right thing.
Yeah. Shouting out the whole island.
The whole island. Yeah. Love me some Bahamas.
Of course.
They actually had a backup bottle uncracked, took it back, and poured me a fresh pour.
And this was a high-end bottle you were drinking.
It was my favorite.
Yeah, so just never store your spirits next to an oven, the stove, the heat of the day, next to an air conditioning unit. Don't store it in your truck. Don't, if your spouse's significant other say, I want it all in the garage, don't put it in the garage because it's going to cook it.
Well, and people need to be careful too because, the under cabinet lights and all that put heat off.
Or Nelson had that issue.
Yeah, and we noticed you'd feel, and it was like, it was hot, the whole shelf.
It's going to cook
and it
destroy the
growing.
It's going to corrupt the integrity of the spirit over time. The molecular structure starts to break down, and that's i.e. you got a little bit of cloudiness in the Bahamas.
Luckily, nothing lasts long at his house, so it was fine.
Especially when Matt and Josh.
Because again, it's all about storage, and if you're going to invest in a bourbon or whiskey collection, and you're investing thousands and thousands of dollars, when you have your friends and neighbors and significant others come over, you want to make sure that it's stored properly and it drinks properly.
Because the last time we asked about what your go-to is, real quick, sorry for the viewers, what is your holy grail?
So also my holy grail. So we talked about daily pours at the house where I'd go. So my holy grail for bourbon, and I get a lot of pushback from a lot of friends, and my holy grail is 15 to 20-year-old Pappy.
Yeah.
And also George T. Stagg Senior, that's 15 years. Those are my two holy grails right now. From going from one cost down here at 30 to one cost over on the opposite side.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's a good swing. Thank you. That's a good takeaway.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Gentlemen,
thank you, Russ.
It's a pleasure.
Cheers.
Until the next one.
Until the next time. Thank you for coming in.
You're welcome.
We are back on the B Team podcast, which stands for Bentonville
Bourbon
and Business. I'm helping you out. So.
Yeah, I drew a blank.
You did like
I was like, what are we doing? Too much bourbon.
Too much bourbon. But I'm real excited today because there's so many good restaurants in Northwest Arkansas, And one of my personal favorites is OZ Smokehouse, and Jordan's here today to talk to you guys.
Welcome.
Glad to be here. Thanks for inviting me.
Jordan, so I've personally followed you around Northwest Arkansas for a period of time, and to me, you've always been known to my kids. They're finicky eaters. They wanted to eat chicken fingers, and when you have Doritos into a taco, I mean, it's a home run, right? I mean, who doesn't love Doritos? You throw it into taco. But that was how I found you many, many years ago. You've been doing that taco for how long?
About 12 years now. It's been a while. Probably, well over 100,000 of them. I haven't added it up, but
Yeah,
basic math, it's a lot. It's a substantial amount.
So how did the Dorito taco come around, or how did that? Can we talk about that?
Yeah. So just kind of growing up, we always used to put chips just like on all kinds of stuff. We'd put Doritos on tacos, but we'd also put Lay's on potato chip sandwiches and that kind of thing. So really, it was just kind of like nostalgia from growing up, and then it just kind of like translated with barbecue. One of those things like, hey, let's just try this with some brisket and avocado, and our brisket sauce, and we did it one day and everybody loved it, and that's pretty much how it started.
And we're going to taste your sauces later. Rob is going to be our guinea pig with a blindfold, and we're going to have some sauce tasting. So
hopefully he doesn't love that shirt because it could have some sauce on it. I mean, it's not the ideal color, but with sauce on it,
It's fine.
maybe you needed a red.
hopefully it adds as long as you get ready to run when you get
A
home.
little shout out, Ben.
Little shout out, Ben. So you guys are located in downtown Rogers, and you've been open for a year and a half, 2 years?
About a year and a half now.
Okay. And
Going for a little bit.
the spot is really cool. It was the old Hammond Tree grilled cheese place, right? If
Okay.
you guys familiar with it.
Yeah.
And I've done our gents' place Christmas parties twice. You got this gorgeous loft. The brunches are exceptional, by the way, which to me is the hidden gem because everybody comes there for the lunches and the dinners. But give us a sneak peek on the Sunday brunch menu, which is
Yeah, I
insanely
want to
good.
hear this because it's hard to find a place for Sunday brunch.
It's insane. It's in my favorite Sunday brunch place. No questions asked.
Yep. We do a very unique brunch. You're not going to find anything like it around here. Part of our focus with it, just like with our regular business, is we want to have good home cooked food that's from scratch, but also, is at least fairly healthy for you. So, like with our corn cakes, we don't use flour. It's not like regular pancakes. Corn cakes. We don't have
Rob and I may need to go there more.
we don't have any sort of gluten that hits the fryer whatsoever. We have a gluten-free blend that we order in and mix ourselves and season that. So we have a lot of people with allergies that enjoy it as well.
We could appreciate. No, that's not. With Rob has the fish allergies. My daughter has dairy and eggs. So like it's hard. You don't realize that that's in
Yes.
so much stuff. And it's, people are now, like you are starting to make foods that actually taste good, because when she was little, it was hard. It was not good.
Well, you felt bad giving her what you gave her because it tasted terrible. Now, you can have ice cream and all kinds of things that are dairy free that taste amazing.
It's crazy, and it makes me feel really good, especially when the kids come in, because we definitely try to appeal to the kids as much as we can. But it makes me feel great having some youngsters come up and they're just so excited to eat our food, because usually they go out and they can't have anything good or sweet for breakfast that's not going to make them sick, but they can come to our restaurant and they're like, this is gluten-free, and their faces just light up and everything. So,
And don't you make like a Fruity Pebbles pancake too? Like you guys have these crazy.
we do. That is not gluten-free. But it is delicious. We make a Fruity Pebble egg wash that we actually dredge the toast in, so the whole toast tastes like Fruity Pebbles. And it's got the garnish with some strawberries, bananas, whipped cream,
A little powdered sugar probably thrown on there.
Yep.
Sounds amazing.
So we've got excellent egg Benedicts, all kinds of pretty cool French toast that you won't see anywhere else, and then our corn cakes, I would say, are definitely the stars of our.
The corn cakes they're unique. I've never had anything like it.
That sounds good.
Nobody does them that I'm aware of around, or I don't know. I'm sure somebody does it somewhere, but We use a masa harina and a corn starch and corn blend. So it has more of like a cakey pancake texture without the wheat.
Yeah. I know where we're going tomorrow for breakfast.
Yeah. It's Saturday, Sunday. What days do you do?
It's currently only on Sundays from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Okay. We may expand those at some point, but we change out everything for it. So just right now, that's the one day, the one special day, and everybody can come.
It's probably a good thing. It's only one day a week.
And then besides that, you're open every day for just normal barbecue. That's amazing.
Yes, we're only closed on Mondays, so that's kind of like
which is kind of standard.
And when you go in for the brunch, his Bloody Marys also.
Yes,
they're solid.
Solid. Yeah. And you also do a flight of champagne-based drinks too, don't you guys do something?
Yes, we do mimosa flights.
The girls would love that, and us. I mean, who are we kidding?
Hey, everybody likes a good mimosa.
Yeah.
My wife's actually the one that came up with those and it's done a great job. I mean, I like them, but definitely our Bloody Marys are top notch. We use like our pickle brine.
Ooh,
pickle back.
I love when there's a lot of pickle juice in the Bloody Mary.
The problem that I have is, look, we have this huge audience here. Like it's like this hidden gem because you're really open for dinner and lunch during the week. So the Sunday brunch is the hidden gem, and we're spoiling it for all of Northwest Arkansas. So probably have a wait now when I come for like an hour or two, which is good for you, just bad for me because the Sunday brunch is off the charts good, but it's also a bit of a hidden anomaly.
I will say it has gotten much more popular. We were on a wait almost the entire brunch and ran out by 1:30.
I love to hear
the other week. Yeah, so I think the word is getting out, but we'll take anybody that would love to come try us.
So do you kind of have your standard menu and then you just add the French toast and pancakes, or is it its own?
It's its own separate menu.
Okay,
it's completely different. Yeah,
that's
in
cool.
almost every way.
And every item is so unique.
So that's why it's so hard.
Yes.
That's why you do it one day a week, because it's a whole different.
But it's not like you go to a breakfast place and order eggs and toast and bacon. Like they don't have any of that. And every item there is curated, unique, different, and I have a hard time ordering because it's like there's like 9 things I want every time I go, and so then I'm like, Jordan, can you just bring out a little taste of this? He says, yeah, Josh, I'll bring you a little something on this, and it's like, oh my gosh, it's just so good.
I personally think that our brunch is good enough. You could make a standalone concept just with the brunch. Could that
be in the future?
I don't know. I'm not going to say that, but I will say that I do feel confident that you could have a concept with just this menu tweaked, with different specials. And I think it could be a successful concept.
I 100% could eat breakfast for any meal of the day. We have breakfast a lot of times for dinner.
Sounds like
it's one of my favorite meal. I love breakfast.
It sounds like we have a date this Sunday morning. We'll make a reservation because I know you're super busy, but it sounds like we're going to have to go this Sunday.
Yeah, come by. I'd love to see y'all.
Yeah, to be there. But let's talk about now the core of the business, the dinners, the lunches, the core barbecue. So again, I love the Doritos taco, but that's one of many, many great things on the menu. Give us sort of the background, how you got to be where you are, and what you guys are really known for, your favorite dishes on the menu.
So like I was kind of saying before, part of the thing with this concept that I was trying to go for is I want to have people eating healthier, but not even necessarily realize it. So I don't want to get put in a box of like, this is a health restaurant. Because I feel like once you're there, it's really hard to get out. So I want to be a good restaurant that makes people eat healthier, and they don't even realize. That's kind of my goal. So with a lot of the stuff we do, we don't use preservatives. Everything's fresh. Almost the entire menu is made from scratch. We try to do it as fresh as we possibly can every single day. We smoke the meat every day. So I would say the menu that we have here now is just kind of like a culmination of my experience through, all the years I've been cooking and managing and owning restaurants, and also on my personal time, because, I have a barbecue. I've got a pit at my house, and I learned from my dad as well. So I was barbecuing at a very young age, and also cooking at a very young age. I started in the kitchens when I was about 16. I'm 36 now. So
3 years.
yeah.
Well, there's nothing easy about barbecuing.
It's an art.
Now, I mean,
Barbecue's
like
art.
you can barbecue, or this is my experience. I can, like, pork you can do, but like anything else, you have to know what you're doing to make it taste good, or that's my experience.
I mean,
Rob's good at it.
I've got some barbecue skills. I mean, in a past life.
I mean, tell us you're awesome without telling us, Rob.
I am.
I mean, I don't
want to brag, but
I got skills.
But I'm just saying, it's an art, and I have a lot of respect for people.
Well, and it's an expensive learning curve, because I've cooked briskets that you get done and you're like, I can't eat that.
And it cost you an arm and a leg.
Yeah, it's $70 or $100. You know,
I mean,
and you can go to it's perfect every time. I don't know how you guys do it, because it's hard.
It's just repetition and practice. That's really all it is.
so tell us. I mean, you got me completely curious on what's going on. Like, tell us about what's on the menu. Like, what kind of meats are you smoking?
Yeah. Is it the same every day, or you have certain meats that you do, or
Pretty much every day. Yeah, we have whole chickens,
which is super solid?
smoked sausage, brisket, pork. I do smoked bologna from time to time.
That's one of my favorites.
Yeah, no,
So
people
brisket is
love it.
like chopped, sliced, burnt ends, a little bit of all of it.
Our style is chopped.
Okay.
It's not Texas style. I would say I would almost have my own style, which I've tried to coin as Ozark style barbecue. Which, Texas, they like their brisket a little bit more firm. I'm from Tennessee. I grew up, I was born in Memphis. They don't really do brisket as much.
The art of barbecue.
But our brisket, I would say, is
their ribs.
yes, more tender. It falls apart a little bit more, but it also makes for better tacos. So we use, I've got one sandwich called the Mr. Poole. It's actually a grilled sandwich. So we throw the brisket right on the flat top. It gets Colby Jack, fresh blue cheese, 2 pieces of thick cut bacon, and then your choice of sauce. It's got our homemade pickled onions on the side. But we grill it on the grill, and it makes a cheese skirt. And then we kind of wrap it up like a little package on your sandwich. And that's the secret. Nice little cheese package with burnt cheese.
Oh.
So now, where do you guys get your own bacon and everything, or do you?
No, I don't have my own bacon per se, but I get it from our food supplier.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah, that's so.
And you also do your own sauces, if I understand correctly.
Yes, all of our sauces are from scratch.
Oh,
In itself.
Yeah.
Rob hasn't done sauces.
I must say, I do. Sauces.
I'll be honest with you. I never did sauces because, barbecue by itself is hard enough. And then you go put sauce on top of that.
He's solid at barbecue. I'm giving him a hard time, but he is good.
A lot of my sauces have been tweaked over many, many years. Recipes. I've got a recipe book for all of it.
Yeah.
Everything's weighed down to the gram. But I would say they're definitely like my own style of sauces. Nobody else has these. Definitely our brisket sauce is different from anything that I've ever seen anywhere. You guys are gonna be able to try it, so you could tell me what you think.
So as our barbecue connoisseur, we're going to have Rob blindfolded, and he is going to taste the sauces today to try to tell us what exactly they are.
Okay, that's fun.
That sounds.
Yeah, I guess.
Sounds like a good idea.
How many fingers does Matt have up right now?
One.
Yeah. Do we have like a nuclear sauce?
There is one that is hot.
Wow, I can't say that.
He can eat hot stuff, right?
No fish, no eggs.
Okay, there's none of that. Yeah. Yeah, hot, mango hot, peach bourbon.
You get me? I'll see the name. Should we get a little napkin here? I feel like it's going to be all over.
No, I don't think you'll spill any. I think it'll be
Josh,
okay.
are you going to feed me?
You can try to decipher
Like, are you?
Poor Ange. All right, how are we going to do this here? What are we going to feed him?
Have some crackers in there.
Crackers.
Which you could do.
Ooh, look at this. We should probably try that. We should probably take a little dip.
There's also some meat. You can have him eat it with meat as well.
We don't want to give him the good stuff, just the crackers.
Like, we wanted to know, like, what he's tasting. Do you just have, like, a few spoons? Like,
No, I'm going to dip there. I have crackers. I'm going to be cracker in the dip.
yeah, and if I'm going to do this,
I'm
do it right.
I'm going to.
I just want some plastic.
The crackers.
You don't want crackers?
They were changed. The flavor.
Rob, the dip is solid. I just tried it. I know that you're going to have just sauce by yourself.
You're gonna need a different.
That dip's
spoon
solid.
for each thing.
Yeah.
too.
Or maybe you could those crackers are good. Clean it off.
I got you.
Yeah, we got you. Josh is going to feed you. I mean, I feel a little weird watching you guys. I'm starting to feel a little wobbly here.
Here's your. We're him. Yep.
I think you should help him, Josh. Why don't you feed him? So is this the first one?
First one. Whoa, he's cheating.
I gotta smell it. So tell us, like, kind of narrate what you're feeling and smelling, and while I take another bite of this dip. So that's sweet. You could definitely tell it's homemade. So I feel little chunks of something in there. Chunks of something. I'm picking up on a little peach or some type of fruit.
Jordan, what was he eating the first one?
That is our mild sauce.
Wow.
There is no fruit in that one.
No fruit.
Okay. So much for the barbecue expert.
But the little chunks are little diced onions that are
Onions.
grilled.
Onions. Chef, yeah, there's a chunk.
Number.
It was delicious, by the way.
Thank you.
No spice. Yeah, you didn't spill any on your shirt on that first one either.
Did you get the napkin? I put the one thing in there is very helpful.
This one's that one's a little spicy. Yep, we got some spice on that one. That's your spicy sauce.
That is actually, you're not 100% correct. Well, you'll find out.
I'm 0 for 2.
My friend, too, you're doing great though.
But it's spicy. Yeah, that.
Number 3.
Okay.
Whoa,
This
one's a fork.
Well, yeah, like, so what did you get out of that one? Like, I got nothing but spicy.
Yeah,
I
any
got
other flavor?
It was spicy. I picked up on pepper. Almost on pepper and hot. Yeah, pepper and hot. It was almost like a blend of the first one with some spice in it. Okay.
You're not doing very well at this test. I'm hoping the third one you do better.
I mean,
This one's a fork, by the way. Different texture going in your mouth.
yeah. Look at his face. I don't know what's happening. And they're all blending together now. I feel like that was back to the first one.
No.
So that one wasn't as spicy, but it just had a little more flavor than the first one. Onions are back in there again. Okay. Something's going on. I have no clue what's happening.
Okay. This is the last one.
Yeah, this is the last one. I mean, you should have given me a little sip of water between each. Oh, here, give him a dropper, Josh. No, Josh, here. Just give him a full. Give him a little baby
palate
bird.
cleanse.
Here, cleanse the palate.
A raining bonanza.
He's like a little baby bird you're feeding.
Raining bonanza.
All right. Okay. Now are you all clear?
I don't. Do you need another squirt?
You need to smell it.
Do you need another squirt?
Don't just eat it. We need to know what you're feeling. Now this one seems a little bold. Okay. There's boldness to this one. Okay. Yes. This one is kind of sweet. Okay. Yeah. I think I'm picking up on fruit on this one.
You feel like the lids got mixed up. I'm not sure what happened. Oh wait, no, that was right. No. Okay.
See, the lids are messed up.
No, that one was right.
So what?
Okay,
What
so the all we know is the second one was hot.
Yes.
Was that the hot?
second was
Well, this one was a peach bourbon. The last one.
Yeah, I picked up. So now, out of all of them,
was a mild. So these two might have gotten swapped. One of them was hot, and one was mango.
okay. So which one was your favorite out of them, Rob?
You could tell they're homemade.
But like, did you have a favorite, or like, did you have one that you would go to?
That last one was really, really good.
Yeah, that was right. This is the mango habanero.
So do you which one is your top seller or top one that people use?
Honestly, they're all pretty even.
Is it pretty even? Because I know a lot of barbecue restaurants, they'll always be like one or two that are empty and the rest.
I'd say our brisket sauce is really popular and probably mild, just because people by default get mild.
Okay.
I did not bring the
I
brisket
did.
sauce.
Yeah,
you have to go in and try that for your.
that's
You have to come in and check that one out. That one is it's a white barbecue sauce.
oh, okay.
They
Rob,
were all great.
try this dip here.
And the spicy wasn't too spicy.
Yes.
Very flavorful. And
Is
those
the
are all homemade.
Yes.
The dip has no fish or eggs.
It doesn't.
It's solid too. I love those crackers that you guys do that.
Yeah, we don't use eggs in much besides brunch. We don't use fish in anything.
Right, and then we're gonna open up whatever was in this middle tin. A little bit of meat. What do we got in the middle one?
I brought some of our.
You want to show us
brisket.
and see what it looks like for everyone?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Like this here.
Got some of our brisket and pulled pork that I brought with us today here.
Okay.
I thought that would go nicely just to give y'all a taster. And then
Here's a little teaser.
these are our ranch crackers with our garlic cheese spread. We sell this as an appetizer.
And the crackers are homemade too.
Well,
we
we
season?
Put like a coating on
We
them.
doctor them up, yes. Re-season them with butter and then bake them again.
Because the crackers
They're
are
so good.
delicious.
Yes, we're not back there cutting crackers from dough and baking them though.
Yeah,
maybe one day though. We'll see what happens. But these are our pickles and pickled onions as well. Those are in house. They're great. People try to get them bottled.
Oh, wow.
A pork.
Great smoke.
Thank you. We use cherry wood,
Yeah, what type of wood are you?
cherry wood and post oak.
That's really, really good.
Hey, can you pass some of those sauces down into?
Can you share?
I brought a ton. They're all labeled on the top.
Can you share like what type of smoker are you using, or?
Yeah, I have actually an indoor smoker in the restaurant. It's a really good smoker. I got it. I have like a really big rotisserie, like massive pull behind smoker at my house. But and I use it for big rub for many, many years. So definitely put hundreds of thousands of pounds through that smoker. But I wanted something that I could have inside because it's easier for my employees to do it. So that's one of the things, in business, like I can't do everything, right? I can run that smoker perfect, right? But the key is to be able to have your employees do it as good as I do when I'm not there. So I would say my smoker is definitely that. It's a commercial smoker. It's half electric assisted, half wood. You can just digitally set the temp.
You have to when you're running a high volume restaurant, right?
Yes.
I'm sure
We put tons.
You're putting your brisket on what, 12 to 18 hours before it's ready?
Yeah, and you can, I can leave it running all night. It's triple insulated, super efficient.
This brisket just falls.
It uses way less electricity and wood and everything. So like dollar-wise, it's cheaper to run every day. And then I haven't had a single mess up since we've started in that smoker either. So I love it. And plus, I don't have to go outside if it's cold. Or
how did you find it? How did you find this restaurant?
I've known Jordan for a while.
Uh-huh.
He's had a few different. He had a food truck, and then he had a brick and mortar at one point.
Pickled Deads too.
And he opened up, and I told him I'd come in and see him, and I've been a regular ever since. And
Jordan, your barbecue is solid.
I appreciate it.
And there's great barbecue restaurants in town, tons of them.
Yeah.
Yes, for sure.
He is unique, different, curated, not better, not worse than the other ones.
I like the rub that you have on that.
I just prefer.
That's my own recipes as well. I mean, everything.
I like that when it has like pepper and stuff in there.
Mhm.
It's just got a good.
I love how everything is homemade. And when he started, when I was there early on, he was bottling his sauces, and you could see he was working on labels. And I'm like, "You made that sauce yourself?" He said, "Yeah." I go, "That's amazing." And the sauces are just absolutely.
It's nice because it doesn't taste like
It's a whole.
most of them just taste like a lot of brown sugar.
Yeah.
To be fair,
I have gone through
this is so good.
I'm sorry to interrupt you.
No, you're not. I interrupt everyone.
I have gone through the bottling process somewhat for my brisket sauce. I was working on trying to get it through Walmart. Wasn't able to find a good co-packer, and then basically haven't revisited in a couple months. I need to probably get back on that, but I have a pretty slick label. I should have brought a bottle. I don't know why I didn't, but I have a pretty slick label for my brisket sauce. It's been fully tested and everything. It's ready to go.
All right, the peach B
Mhm.
is my favorite.
Thank you. That's the best with chicken and pork.
Yeah, here, put that on the. Oh, here it is. Put that on the pork.
Share that with me, Matt.
There.
I like the hot with the brisket, but that's just me because I like a little spice. But
I want to try that hot.
if you don't like spicy, you can't go over with the mild.
Pork usually like you do like some type of applesauce, and it's a pork chop or something like that. So this peach
Peach was very good.
the peach with the pork is phenomenal.
We use that cherry wood, which is a very mild smoke as well. So I think it definitely complements it.
Now, Jordan, your wife also works in the business.
She does.
So we have a lot of guests that have been in before that co-own, co-manage, co-run a business with their spouse. Tips and tricks on how to stay married and sane and be a loving partner and run a business, because this is always one of my favorite questions.
So I actually have a very funny story with this, and my wife might kill me if she hears this.
But it'll be great for ratings.
It will, but it's a great story, and it's also part of our journey.
The reason Josh wants to know this is because he has a lot of challenges. Emily does all the work.
Yeah.
And he just runs his mouth most of the time.
I would say
Like Rob and I.
Yeah.
We're all the same.
Okay, so back when I had Big Rob, I actually hired Jenny. She was one of my first employees to work with for me. And at the time, we were not dating.
Oh, boy.
Right? So she's very cute. I wanted to ask her out. She said, well, I'm not going to date, I can't date my boss. So she wouldn't do it.
Oh boy. So you're like you're fired.
Well, not exactly like that, but actually, I did eventually get her to work for me, and it was great. But I want to also preface this by saying I was very young. I was 21 at the time.
Yeah.
Big bonehead, definitely matured, but we definitely butted heads. After a while, early in the relationship, and I don't know if I want to say I fired her, but I told her that I didn't think we
Parted ways.
We could work. Yes, we couldn't work together, right? So then after that, we dated, we stayed together. Everything's great. We're married now. Been married for 6 years now.
Congrats.
Thank you. But through that whole time, we'd always said we're never going to work again together. Well, I came into OZ, and quite frankly, I needed help, and she is just a star up front. Great personality. Can manage all the people up there, and really that is not my skill set. I can definitely talk to people, but it is just exhausting. I'm somewhat of a creative, and having to be interrupted constantly. I have ADD too, so being constantly interrupted is very hard for me. So after a while I'd had it. I'm just like, Jenny, you can come work for me. You can make as much or more than you're making at your other job. Let's just
Go through the full interview process.
No, I was almost begging
He's like,
her
I already
at that point
interviewed
to
her.
come and help me. I put it aside, but the way that we kind of do it now is we split up responsibilities. She does, the front of house stuff. I do the back. So we kind of have these boundaries that we don't cross. And I think that's honestly the key.
But it's funny because when I come in, she's always up front, big personality, bubbly, great guest experience, great customer service. And then I see you in the back running around like a madman, to make sure that everything's going great. I'm like, I'll catch Jordan on the way out. And she is an amazing guest experience.
For sure.
And she compliments you very well in the restaurant.
And you need that. You don't have time. Like you said,
It's too
you
hard.
wouldn't have this quality of food if you were out talking all the time.
You just with the food for a second. So talk to us about this.
The pickles, yes, they're delicious.
I didn't try one of those. Let me try one of those.
We go through about
It's not going to make it over to you.
30 quarts of pickles to 40 quarts of pickles a week.
Did you try them?
He let me have one, yes.
Okay.
They're amazing. Who they are.
And we do have people that come in and buy quarts.
Yeah. Like, can you buy them at the court? What do you like? How do you make them?
No, it's okay.
Subject, but that's a winner.
I do not advertise that we do that.
Well, you just
but-
did.
Rob's already buying it by the
But
quart.
you can. So, yes, our regulars, people that come in, they're like, "Can I buy a quart?" Yes, I'll sell it to you. The reason I haven't advertised it is because we go through 30 to 40 quarts of pickles a week, which is already quite a bit. And I'm just like, I don't know that I need to. That's like getting the pickle business or whatever. But we do have great pickles. We do a quick pickle. We don't do like a 3, 4, 5 day pickle. But I mean, part of that is just because we go through so much.
So that's what I think I love about it.
No, it's just different. Yeah, it tastes so fresh and good.
Yeah.
Like they're amazing.
Oh yeah, they are fresh.
Oh, now my daughter, my youngest, loves pickles. She would tear it.
See if Rob will let you take one or two of those because he's got his left hand right by it.
And
He wouldn't even push them over.
No. He said, if you had any, he's no. And then he didn't offer to move them over.
Yeah, I mean,
Look at him. He's just
take one of
putting
these.
his fork
Well,
down.
look, if you're low
He's
carb,
like, oh, Natalie wants those. There was some egg on my fork.
if you're low carb and get a bunch of these like pickles and put some pork on top,
You're set.
you know, a little sauce, not too much, and you got a home run.
Here you go. While he's being generous. Put that over by you.
So we use white vinegar, pickling spice, fresh dill, salt, granulated garlic, and
Solid.
that's about it. Not too many ingredients. It's just the right mixture.
I didn't know you could buy them there. My wife's a huge pickle fan.
Yes, you can. We would definitely. It's not on the menu, but if you ask for sure.
I didn't know
Shout out to Emily.
I didn't know you were going to share that, but that's awesome, man.
She loves her pickles.
Those are
We'll
the
have to
secret
get
to
her a
our
couple
bloodies
quarts.
as well. That pickle brine. That's what we use for our bloodies. So like now that you've tasted the pickle,
Mary's.
yes,
Yeah. So what I love too about everything you smoke, it's like you didn't have to like douse it in a bunch of sauce to make it taste like you could eat it with no sauce and it's amazing.
Which is crazy because the sauce is so good and you want to use the sauce, but it doesn't need it.
No, not at all. Did you try this, Rob?
I just piled it all on.
Everything is solid. It's so
We have a very excellent sandwich that's probably my favorite that we do melts. So we actually use this on
All
our
right, pass that back over.
we actually use it on our brisket melt. So it's literally that smothered on sourdough bread grilled, and we put it cheese face down on the grill so it gets a cheese crust.
I know where we're going.
Yes, and smack together, and then you can get whatever sauce you want with some of those pickles. It's
So what are your hours? Like what's your normal and are you open you're closed Mondays?
Just Mondays.
What are you open?
Tuesday through Saturday, we're open 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. And then Sunday, it's 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. for brunch.
So the other piece I want to cover with you in a very limited amount of time, because we can go all night with you, is the upstairs private seating rental area for events. So super cool. Walk up steps and you have this really, really, really cool experience. Gorgeous layout, great decorations. Are you using it year round? Are you using it for just the holidays? And how do I end up booking? And how many people does it hold?
You can reserve it. We used to charge a per hour rate, but we've since ended up changing that just because we tried to increase the amount of bookings that we got. So we just have a $500 minimum. You can fit, anywhere up to 34, 36 people. The Gents Place had around that many.
That's the only way to do it, too.
Yes, and you can easily meet that minimum with like 12 people, especially if you are drinking any libations. We do have an excellent bourbon selection.
We didn't even get into that. Yeah. So you don't just have beer,
Oh, no.
beer and wine. You have everything.
We have a very extensive bar menu and a pretty extensive.
I mean, we're gonna have to go another 5 minutes or 10 minutes talking about this.
Yeah, I would say
How many people upstairs hold?
you could 36 max.
Wow.
I mean, we could hold a good party,
Yeah, you
like a
can
good
fit-
group up there.
And the cool thing about it is the table that we have up there. It's a custom 20-foot walnut table. There's not any other table, so you literally fit 20 people at one big family style table, which is really nice and
I love
appealing.
that. That's how the Italians do it.
Yeah, so you can get everybody at the table. To get 36, we have to add some more tables up there, which that's what we do. But, it's great. It's super nice. We've got some Italian leather sofas up there, set buffet. You got full waiter
I think he was already
service.
sold on it before he even broke up the Italian leather.
Oh, yes. They're nice.
No, well, we've done a gents place party up there, and we've had the whole table, and you're yelling across the table to everybody the way you would do it at a
It's
big
so
Italian
fun
dinner.
when you do that. I love when it's like a noisy dinner and everyone's sharing and yelling. And, no, it's fun. When
Now,
you
do you sell the barbecue by the pound as well? So
We do anything you want, whatever you want.
So the summer's coming, spring's around the corner. If I'm heading out to the Beaver Lake, I could swing by and pick up a few pounds of brisket, some of this, some of that, and
Yep.
go hang out.
You can order it just with the meat by itself. We've also got some things called tailgate packs, which come with sauce, your choice of sauces, meats, buns, and it's got depends how many you order.
Sounds
But
like the whole party.
yeah, you can it's like a 20, 40, 60, and 100.
Now, do you require how much time do you need to order that in advance?
You can usually you can usually order it same day, and we actually have online ordering. You can place your order online, pay for it, set your pickup time, just come and get it, leave. That's
and
it.
they're in an amazing location.
Super easy.
Downtown.
And then our tacos as well. We have taco packs. You can get all of the sides in quart containers. You can get this and this normal size, or we have the big size.
What's in that?
It's got cream cheese, fresh garlic, coarse black pepper, coarse kosher salt,
It's solid.
Fish oil,
shredded cheddar.
Yeah.
Shredded cheddar.
That's probably why he likes it.
I'm just going to go ahead and have a
mayonnaise.
little bit more.
Oh, and roasted red peppers. So it's kind of like a pimento
Yeah,
cheese,
that's what I
but
thought.
I thought so too.
I was like, it reminds me of so you put that on a brisket sandwich?
oh yeah, and grill it.
fry it.
Yes, and grill it. Yes.
Yeah, that's good.
That's not
Have
one of
you
our
had
healthy
that?
ones.
I have not.
So now you guys go for brunch.
I go for brunch. I've been there for dinners, but when I go, I order the tacos typically. So
Okay.
When I go, I struggle. When you go to a restaurant, you're like, but there's like three things I always want this. Every time I'm there, it's like a 20-minute. You ready to order yet, Josh? No. And then it's like, what do you recommend? And there's 5 or 6 things I can't ever figure out what I want to get. It's so good.
Yeah.
So good.
It's okay. You can keep getting the same thing. You don't have to branch out.
I'm the same
As long as you're coming, I'm
It's
happy.
hard to go. Now I have started this new thing where I go somewhere and I tell them to bring me the best thing they have. Some restaurants get it they're like, "Are you sure?" And I was like, not like anything. But it's made me try things that I normally wouldn't eat, and a lot of times that ends up being something that I love.
Interesting.
So,
It's a good strategy for sure.
Well, Jordan, thank you for coming in. If folks wanted to find you, your website, your Facebook, your Instagram, give us just a little bit of background on how to get in touch with you.
Yes, our website is just ozsmokehouse.com. You can find us on Facebook, just OZ Smokehouse. Same with Instagram, OZ Smokehouse. And we even have TikTok. It's NWA OZ Smokehouse.
I love it.
and
Good stuff.
you have an amazing.
Thank you.
You guys, you have an amazing thing going.
I'll be back, but I'm going to make sure these guys, we do a brunch, we do a lunch, we do a dinner pretty quickly.
Maybe we go there for dinner tonight. That sounds good.
Thank you, Jordan. Appreciate you.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Thank you.